Ladies and gentlemen, shall we start? It is the second day today of the fair. I'm so happy today I can be here to share with you the sustainability practice of Chinese textile and apparel industry. Thank you so much for your time today. So we can have maybe half an hour, have some sharing, discussion, and we both can understand further of sustainability practice, not only from Chinese textile and apparel industry, but also I think should be useful, helpful for us to understand further for global textile and apparel industry. So maybe I should start from where I'm from. I'm working for China National Textile and Apparel Council. Maybe some people know already. The short term is called CNTC. We are an institution and the representatives of China textile and apparel sector in China. So we work on information exchange, development guidance, industry policy research. You can take us as kind of a platform for government policy making, and also you can take us as a platform for industry upgrading. So we are representatives of our expectations of Chinese textile apparel industry. CNTAC is the first one to set up independent office for social responsibility and sustainable development across all the other industries in China. We work on management system for capacity building, and also we work on transparency and traceability for sustainability information disclosure. At the same time, we are very open for all the cooperation across industries and internationally, globally. And we initiated multi-stakeholder Chinese consulting committee across all sustainable initiative and standards. I'm from CNTC. We're working for Chinese textile and apparel industry. But how is the Chinese textile and apparel industry like? Today, I bring you two percentages to give you a general picture of how Chinese textile and apparel industry like. The first one is the percentage of the fiber processing. According to the statistics, so far, the fiber processing from mainland China accounts more than half of global fiber processing. It is an indicator of production capacity. So by this way, you can understand Chinese textile and apparel industry so far is very important to global industry. The second percentage is about exports. Global exports. Exports from China amounts for more than 35% of global trading. So exports is kind of indicator of a comparative value, comparative strength globally for textile and apparel industry. So for these two fingers, maybe you can understand production capacity, we are the number one in the world. And if we speak of the competitives, also we are the number one in the world. But the point is, when Chinese textile and apparel industry develops itself, we are not working for the purpose to be the Big Mac or Jumbo in the world. So that's why I would like to give you a simple review how we develop our industry in the past 70 years. I simply illustrated the past 70 years of our industry into 6 stages. The first stages I called initially growing period after 1949. It was a time of Cold War. So we developed our industry initially to meet the increasing demanding for our huge population. At that time, we were so poor at both technology and capital. At that time, even until 1979, the average fiber consumption just about 2 kilos. So it was not enough to meet the basic requirement from domestic market. When we go to 1980s, at that time, China gradually opens up to the world. So with our economic opens up to the world, we developed gradually to being an open way. So by this way, it's a kind of it was a good time. I call it is a thawing with a Sino-Western relationship. At that time, we can receive the many supports from Western countries, and also it was a time, very early stage for the industry transfer from Western countries to the developing countries. So thanks to this, we gradually develop ourselves. Then we go to the 1990s. When we go to 1990s, we have almost set up, basically developed industry frame. So I call it a firm development. So you can see we keep on developing ourselves. The average developing speed, if we compare 10 years ago, normally it's 13% per year. So Chinese textile and apparel industry gradually going up. Then we go to embrace of globalization. We join this, and during this time, we joined the WTO. Thanks to this, Chinese textile and apparel industry has been developed gradually, great. So by this, after this period, we have become the #1 exporters in global trading. And we have established our strong role globally. After we became the #1 in global trading, as our other people, other colleagues globally, we have encountered many difficulties. Then we go to the growing pains. So not only speak of the production capacity, we need to think more how to bring more value-added service, value-added products to domestic market and to the international market. So during this time, we think a lot. We have our deep thoughts, how to upgrade the industry, how to make the industry in a long-term development path. During this time, we tried a lot, we explored a lot the solutions, and we studied a lot the challenges and the opportunities, and how to find a solution from the challenges, from the opportunities. The final stage is currently the new era of sustainability. From our growing pains period, we learned if we want to keep on developing the industry, we need to understand how to make the industry in a sustainable way. We have experienced the basic time to meet the quantitative demanding. We have experienced time to make the quality products. Now is the time, besides the quantity, besides the quality, besides the developments, it's a time for sustainability. So you can see, we develop ourselves not for the purpose to be the Big Mac, to be the jumper, to be some big guy that maybe a lot of people they don't feel uncomfortable. But we are now. But on the other hand, like other people, like other colleagues, during our period, the developer period, we have always experienced challenges. And at the same time, we keep on employing solutions. We are also part of solutions ourselves. When we develop ourselves, we are solution ourselves. At the same time, we contribute to the people's better life globally. Here, I would like to bring you one sample. Example, just from my basic research from the domestic market. I believe everyone here, you have jeans. You have either a pair of jeans trousers or maybe jeans jacket. So it's just a case from my research of jeans factory. I bring some charts here. In the past 5 years, the jeans industry always facing the challenges about environmental protection and increasing labor costs. But however, the price, their selling price, unit selling price, you can see the green line, not only keep on stable, even lower. So unbelievable, with a big jump for environmental protection investment and increase in labor costs. But the unit selling price of jeans keep stable and even a little bit low down. Can you find something behind? Something behind that's our contribution to the world. Why I can see this? Because when we do the analyzing behind, we will find with the development of the industry, we keep on developing our working efficiency. We keep on the investment, but we absorbed all this investment by ourselves. And we keep on supplying the world with a reasonable price. So that's why when you buy something from market, you can have almost stable retail price. That's a Chinese contribution behind. So even some people, they don't like our big production capacity, but they need to understand their contribution behind from Chinese textile and apparel industry. So consumption and manufacturing, consumption and production capacity, we are together. We cannot separate each other. The time always moving forward, but for the industry, we need thinking how we move forward in a sustainable way. So I would like to bring you our practice in the past 5 years. What we have done and why we have done. From the global analysis, it is a global risk interaction map from a World Economic Forum. From this, you can see, now in our developing time now, there are more and more non-traditional risks, such as social, environmental, brings much more uncertainties than before. But for globally, textile and apparel industry, we're always full of SMEs. For SMEs, that means normally their management capacity are not strong enough to manage all the risks and uncertainties from a supply chain. So they need professional support. They need the solution in a systematic way. In 2015, globally, even from UN side, how to make the global development in a comprehensive, systematic way, UN issued SDGs, 17 SDGs. You can see Cuba here as a 17 SDGs in total. So in line with UN SDGs, we also issued the Chinese Responsible Development Goals 2025. They are covering 3 different levels: social, environmental, and file supply chain. So in the light of sustainable development goals, we work on our systematic way. The first one is we have developed management system for capacity building. For SMEs, they are not strong enough to cope with all the challenges, all the risks. They don't know how to mitigate the risks. They don't know how to manage the risks together with their daily running. So the first point from us is to develop a management system to provide them a systematic way how to link all the requirement from social responsibility, from sustainable development together with their daily running. So that's why we are the first one in China to develop a management system CC9000T. We keep on developing this management system. So far, the core subjects of CC9000T management system, there are 9 core elements. These 9 core elements covering label responsibility, environmental protection responsibility, and fair market responsibility. So by this management system, we effectively improved the currently general responsible situation in China. We changed the situation from the past very passive, negative, compliant with social responsibility. We changed this to so far very positive attitude, how to implement social responsibility and sustainable development. So doing our systematic way, so management system is just guidelines, but how to make these guidelines to be implemented practically in the industry. We have conducted a lot of training, awareness training, advanced training, and the different specific topics. And we provide them professional implementation files according to different production process in the factory. We separate this into nearly 50 sectors. And with more and more Chinese investment going abroad to the road and the Belt and the Road Initiative countries, they are increasing attention to this Chinese investment, how to be more local sustainable, how to be local sustainable, localized running that facing challenges. So CC9000T always can be kind of solution because we are complying with international conventions. We are complying with the local legal requirements. So based on the CC9000T management system for the mainland China manufacturers, we also issued the guidelines for the Chinese textile and apparel industry for responsible overseas investment. And for these guidelines already has been accepted very widely in the Belt and the Road Initiative countries. Just for CC9000T's management system for capacity building, we cover 3 key areas: people-oriented responsibility, environmental protection responsibility, and the fair supply chain. I take the people-oriented responsibility for time. For example, under this level, we have a lot of specific topics training and specific topics capacity building projects. So we have project for working hours and remuneration. We have topics for young workers, topic for gender equality. And for each specific topic, we are very open to international other standards and initiatives. So for working hours and the remunerations, we have a cooperation with AMFORI BCI. And for young workers topics, we have cooperation with ELO. And for gender equality, we have our cooperations with UN Women and Asian Foundation. For each topic and for each specific topic training, we run our business in a systematic way. So for just for the gender equality, our cooperation project with Asian Foundation, so you can see we have 5 different steps. Step by step, how to promote the systematic way change in the factories. So we have our input, we have our activity in different enterprises, and we have a lot of trainings, learning how to make the local label, local management to learn more, and how to improve them from the management daily process, so they can both benefit and out. During this fair, you can also find systematically way management system is a basis for Chinese textile and apparel industry to be more open and to be more cooperative globally. So in this fair, we have an area, we call it Steve. We have many labels in our Chinese exhibitors who are very good at sustainable development or social responsibility. So Steve, we set up platform for Steve family. Steve, Sustainable Textile Initiative Family. So we set up this platform to have a more open and cooperative dialogues among the different standard initiatives to have to smooth the communication among each other and to reduce the costs for the industry. Management system is a basic, is a cornerstone for development of social responsibility and sustainable development. So besides that, we also identify the global risk, global challenge with a lot of hot topics. And we work on transparency and traceability for the information disclosure. In the past 5 years, and especially now, you can see the global topic with more focus on environmental protection, such as climate change. And the past July was the hottest month in the history. We have records for temperature. And also for the carbon emission keep on increasing. And we have much more strict public governance from the legal requirement globally, not only in China. So environmental protection become more and more important for every manufacturing industry. So textile and apparel industry, just one of them. When we recognize the environmental protection will become more important than before and will become our biggest challenges than before, we have implemented several pilot projects: chemical stewardship, water stewardship, carbon stewardship, and a circular economy stewardship, based with the core of traceability and transparency of information disclosure. So by these 4 pioneer stewardship projects, we keep on developing sustainability for supply chain, fashion, innovation, and the Belt and the Road Initiative countries. But especially for the environmental protection challenges, for each factory, for each part of supply chain, you cannot be separated by yourself. You cannot cope with all the challenge by yourself. So that's why we know that every responsibility is not only your responsibility. It's a part of the global value chain. It's a part of a global supply chain. That's why we initiate Textile Sustainable Manufacturing Coalition to draw out the attention, to draw out the efforts to working together to cope with. And we support the Sustainable Fiber Coalition about viscose from China as well. By this way, we organized from industry side everyone's efforts all together to working to find the common solution for our common challenges. I would like to speak more about the environmental protection. When we initiate the coalition alliance working together for the environmental protection problems, our 4 pioneer stewardship projects, each one is of the core traceability and transparency, and every one is with a very important data system. So I would like to speak more about the stewardship. The first one is chemical stewardship. For this chemical stewardship, the core is a system, CIE. CIE is a core system for the information disclosure, covering the information from the chemicals suppliers, from chemicals users, and for the chemical requirement from the branding and the retailers. So it's a comprehensive chemical information platform as core with a stewardship. So by this information core platform, we can collect all the requirement, we can collect all the risks from industry and to working together to find a common solution for that. So that's why we know how to find a solution to the top 20, the chemical requirement for the industry. And we know how to find substitutes for some very dangerous or becoming dangerous chemicals, and how to find a solution about wastewater. Chemicals is a very important problem. So when we recognize this, we initiate stewardship from chemical management first. So far, this platform and this stewardship has been warmly welcomed by the industry. Now, so you can say this project has been supported by the international organizations, including UN agencies, and also including some branding and the retailers from the European countries. For carbon stewardship, globally warming, everybody knows. For the industry, we are required to be responsible for part of it, for the carbon emission. But how to find a solution? The important is you need to understand your carbon emission from each production process. And you need to understand the carbon emission from logistic arrangement. And you need to understand the carbon emission from raw materials. So that it is easy to require the industry to do that, but how to find a practical solution for that, it is not easy. That's why we initiate our common public stewardship for carbon stewardship. We set up information core. By this information core, so people, the enterprises, you can submit your requirement to do the evaluation, to do the calculation, how much the carbon emission is from each process. You will have the professional online support to understand exactly the challenges you are facing. Without this kind of statistics, without this kind of calculation, carbon neutral, just a dream. So we set up carbon stewardship several years ago, and last year we have a big jump. We pushed CNTC as the first industry association to sign the UNFCCC Fashion Industry Charter for Climate Action. So based on the carbon stewardship, we make this carbon stewardship to become the industry action in total. So when we signed UNFCCC Fashion Industry Charter for Climate Action, we developed our carbon stewardship to climate stewardship 2030. So by this climate stewardship, we keep on developing the information core system, and now we have promoted among both internationally and domestically. So you can see there are many domestic branding. They are more active than before in the environmental protection areas, like kickboxing, and also last month we were the first industry in China. We held Climate and Innovation Fashion Summit. So it is the first time for the manufacturing industry in China to bring the climate change, to bring the climate topic industry level nationally. And during the summit, we have the attitude, we have the action from industry, how to make a climate change to be one of our practical sustainable development goal for the industry. And it is also first time we have collected public fund to do the industry climate action projects. Carbon chemicals are two important projects among the industries, but water is one as well. So for the water, everybody knows, maybe have some statistics from the newspaper, how many water consumed during the cotton planting, during the dyeing and the finish. But how to make the water efficiency and how to make the water evaluation. As the other stewardship projects, we develop a water stewardship evaluation online system. Each stewardship project is based on transparency and traceability. For sustainability, they are very important core issues. So we developed water stewardship evaluation online system, and also we developed toolkit for water stewardship together with WWF. So by this online system, both the factories, they can do the evaluation by themselves, and they can do practical evaluation among different regions, like Delta River, like Peel River, and also including the Road and the Belt initiative countries, how to evaluation their water usage, their water efficiency, and their wastewater discharge, how to find the solution for that, how to find their, how to manage their water footprints, how to mitigate their water risks. With more multi-stakeholder engagement, the water stewardship are becoming very popular among not only in mainland China and including Southeast Asian countries, where Chinese overseas investment are becoming more and more. So by this way, we helped the Chinese textile and apparel industry going abroad and become more sustainability. Circular textile. Just last week, I was in a research of circular stewardship textile. And we have a lot of talks how to make our industry to find a circular way to make the industry to be linked closely and more positively to the consumption globally. So we held the first step is to do a survey. Why we do survey? Like the other sustainability topics, requirement is easy, but how to understand the actual situation, how to do the analyze the risks and how to do the analyze the weak points from the supply chain. So for circular stewardship, our way is do survey of baseline to understand the industry situation first. Then we work together with multi-stakeholders along the supply chain. We collect experience, we collect know-how, working together to find the common solution in an innovation way. Then we will do the promotion for the best practice. So this survey, we will issue our report very soon. And so far, as other stewardship projects, we are setting up the information platform with innovatively information technology as a core. For the environmental protection, they are very important, not only for our industry, for everywhere. So we think the traceability, the transparency, and the innovation, they are three key pillars to do that. Only by this way, so we can not only implement it out of our stewardship projects well, smoothly, and also we can do promotion of sustainability along the supply chain, along the fashion, along the Belt and the Road initiative countries, and also for the better promotion of our innovation image. Our industry is kind of a bridge industry between the manufacture and the consumption. The time to only supply the products globally, just a part of our history. Now with globally development and with globalization, the manufacturing industry should contribute more to the people's daily value. The manufacturing industry also shall make difference among the people's daily attitude for our better common future, our better planet, our better environmental. So we have a management system as our capacity building. We have stewardship pilot projects with a core of transparency and traceability for information disclosure to do the pilot along the industries. At the same time, if you speak of social responsibility and sustainability, they are always very big concepts. To reach the concept is easy, but how to make the concept really works in the industry is not easy. So you need to be very open and very positive way to do that. So for CNTC, our working team, we keep on very open and cooperative globally. So you can see we worked with different initiatives to conduct the survey and to conduct the training and to issue our guidelines to the enterprise, to the SMEs along the supply chain. But also, we initiated the website, the working together among the different industry associations. So we're working together, for example, we're working together with GIZ. So 7 industry organizations from 5 Asian countries. We sign MOU together. We promote our common supply chain at regional level. It was the first time for the major industry associations from a very important supply areas to working together to promote social responsibility in a same way and in a common voice. And we set up the sharing website STAR to keep on to the strong promotion of regional best practice. By this way, the manufacturing industry working together and working more closely is a very good example to show globalization can bring benefits for everyone, although sometimes we are facing hard challenges. Sometimes we are facing these globalization trends. We spend too many time and we spend too many energies for sustainability, for social responsibility. So all of our work so far has been warmly welcomed by major globally organizations. So that's why the last year, CNTC, we signed MOU with OECD to promote the supply chain with due diligence management as a responsible business conduct in textile and garment sector. And for OECD, we are their Chinese partner to do the promotion of due diligence in Chinese market. And we keep our eyes on every very hot and very pioneer topic, including the gender equality topic. Gender equality topic are becoming hotter and hotter than before, not only because one of our key working area is people-oriented responsibility, but also it's because of our fingerprints of the industry. Textile and apparel industry, one of our fingerprints is we have much more female labor than male labor. So gender equality can make a difference to our industry. When we implemented international project in an open view with a globally partner about overseas gender equality projects. You can say also in a systematic way. So we built gender-sensitive enterprises management system in 3 countries, in Myanmar, in Bangladesh, with experience from mainland China. So we improve communication and human resources management and CSR performance in the local factors there. And also we enhance the female employees' capacity building and the women's leadership. With a better women's leadership, the working efficiency and the business running of these local enterprises has been developed a lot. And we promote, by this way, it's kind of very good promotion for the industry competitiveness. We even go further for from the gender equality project. So that's why we are working together with UN Women. We are working together with the Asian Foundation to implement FFF initiative. That's family-friendly factories. Textile and apparel industry is a bridge industry, not only with manufacture and consumption, and also it's a bridge industry from manufacture to the people's daily life. So triple F initiative can bring a very good difference to the employee turnover and to the manufacture gradually. So this initiative company, when we first introduced to the industry, it has been very warmly welcomed out of our expectation before, both in mainland China and in the Road and the Belt Initiative countries. International cooperation is very important, both to the international projects, and also we keep on the very good dialogue system, dialogue platform among the different standards, different initiatives. Because only by this way, all the requirement, our common solution can be issued in the same voice. So, we initiated, as I introduced before, just the MAC system. MAC system is a Chinese multi-stakeholder, Chinese consultants committee among the different initiatives, including BSCI, SA8000, Solidaridad, REP, and Fair Trading and ETI. So by this MAC system, the major social responsibility initiative and the sustainable initiative, we have reached agreement. And for the common issue, for the harder issue, for the harder issue, we can find a common solution to save time, save the cost for the local industry to reach the social responsibility goal. And we keep on our partnership network, UNICEF, ICRC, OECD, World Economic Forum. We keep on to take the Chinese textile and apparel industry as an integral part of globally very important partnership platform, and to keep on deliver that attitude and the value from Chinese manufacturer globally to make the industry to be running in a sustainable and harmonious way. Chinese textile and apparel industry just a part of a global supply chain. As I said before, as I introduced before, we didn't develop ourselves for the purpose to become a Big Mac, Jumbo, or to become a very huge size that makes some people feel uncomfortable. We develop ourselves to meet the local requirement. We develop ourselves as a kind of a contribution globally. When we had our fingerprints before, labor intensive, low efficiency, but now it's a new time. We have globally, we have working through the hard time in the past 70 years. It's a new time for our new era of sustainability. We need to keep on thinking how to make a new image, how to find the new fingerprints for our industry, and how to find more close links between manufacture and global consumption. So the new fingerprints for textile and apparel industry from outside should be technology, fashion, and green. That should be our common fingerprints, should be our final goals, how to make the sustainable development to be. Sustainable development goal is a direction, but when we work for this new direction, if we can reach technology, fashion, and green as our three major new fingerprints, our industry can be developed to a new and to a more to a easily accepted globally way by more people. That means textile and apparel industry can make big difference than before. Now, for everyone, it is a time for us working together. From this exhibition, you can see we have Steve logo. You can see a lot of booths. They have the sign of recycled materials. They have the sign of some new production with a circular economic effective developments. So it's a time for we think further, besides quantity, besides quality, besides development, how to make the manufacture, how to make the industry to lead the value of a people's life. It is a time. So that's why we keep on working in this area. We keep on to promotion of sustainability development goals, and we keep on promotion of our best practice. So we are very open, and we are here. And we would like to work more closely for all the colleagues globally, for all the other industry associations. Thank you. So that's just a simple sharing of development practice for social responsibility and for sustainability from Chinese textile and apparel industry. But we always think we are not the only one. We are just a part of global supply chain. With a more globalization and with the development, global economic, we both need each other. We need working more closely than before to enjoy our common sustainable time to come in. Thank you very much for your time. Let's keep on let's keep contact. If you have any question, we have Steve part just inside. In the core of exhibition, you can find we have our introduction materials, and we have colleagues there who can answer your questions. Thank you.